are the Holy Twins? Saint Benedict and Saint Scholastica. Saint Benedict of Nursia, Italy, 480 to 543, is considered the father of Western monasticism. His rule came to be the basis of organization for many religious orders, including the Franciscans and Dominicans. The rule revolves around 5 practices: prayer, work, study, hospitality, and renewal. Prayer is the foundation to the monastic life and calling, and can be a constant part of the life of non-monastics as well. His legacy left to the Church is called The Rule of Saint Benedict, a book of precepts written in Latin in the year 530 AD for monks living communally, under the authority of an abbot. Although he is known as the father of Western monasticism, he was actually a simple abbot, never governing more than 12 monks at a time. Scholastica had been consecrated to God from her earliest years. Both of their lives are a remarkable, yet simple, example for all Catholics to honor and emulate. They shared the same interest of their profound love for God. Raised in a Christian wealthy family, the siblings were inseparable throughout their childhood. Scholastica and Brother Benedict were sent to Rome at the age of 12. During their time in the urban environment of Rome, they grew deeply disturbed by the sinful lifestyle that was prevalent in the city. Discouraged by the immorality of those around them, they sought after a simple but intense devotion to God, a devotion that renounces the world and embraces Christ. Benedict was the first to retire to a hermitage, while Scholastica remained heir to the family, and, after revealing detachment from earthly goods, asked her father to be allowed to dedicate herself to religious life, first entering a monastery near Nursia. Scholastica soon followed in the footsteps of her brother, moving to Subiaco, following her brother who had founded the Abbey of Monte Cassino. There, just 5 miles away, she founded the monastery of Piumarola, where together with her sisters in religion she followed the rule of Saint Benedict, giving rise to the female branch of the Benedictine order. Scholastica was the first Benedictine nun. Scholastica taught and observed the rule of silence. She would say this to her fellow devotees: "Either speak of God or keep silence. For what in this world is so worthy of speech?" Of God, Scholastica loved to speak above all with her brother. The siblings met just once a year to converse on holy topics. The place of their spiritual talks was a little house halfway between the 2 monasteries. Monks from the abbot would accompany Benedict. Saint Gregory the Great tells that in the last of these meetings, dated February 6, 543, occurred shortly before Scholastica's death. Their story is told in the books of dialogues by Saint Gregory the Great. The brother and sister spent their last days together in prayer and conversation. Scholastica sensed her death was close at hand, and she begged Benedict to stay with her until the next day. After supper, the spiritual conversation went on and the hour grew late. Scholastica asked her brother to continue the interview until the following morning, but Benedict opposed her, saying it would break the rule. The holy nun begged, "Please do not leave me tonight, let us continue talking until morning." He said, "I simply cannot stay outside my cell. It is not allowed." So Scholastica folded her hands, placed her head on the table, and began to pray. After which God sent such a thunderstorm and deluge that they simply could not depart. Scholastica asked God to let her brother remain, and a severe thunderstorm broke out, preventing Benedict and his companion monks from returning to the abbey. This is how Benedict responded to the downpour: "Almighty God forgive you, sister. What have you done?" Scholastica answered, "I asked you and you would not listen, so I asked my God and he did listen. So now go off, if you can, leave me and return to your monastery." Reluctant as he was to stay of his own will, he remained against his will. So it came about that they stayed awake the whole night, engrossed in their conversation about the spiritual life. Although Scholastica's prayer request to God for more time with her beloved brother broke a rule, she did it out of great love, knowing that this would be their last yearly visit together. 3 days later, Benedict was in his cell. Looking up to the sky, he saw his sister's soul leave her body in the form of a dove and fly up to the secret places of heaven. Benedict had his monks take her body and place it in the grave he had prepared for himself. He would follow her 4 years hence, and that is where their bodies both rest, awaiting the resurrection, together, forever in eternal rest. Scholastica is the patron saint of Benedictine nuns, education, and convulsive children, and is invoked against storms and rain. She is also considered the patron saint of religious sisters and right relationships. Benedict is the patron saint of many people and causes, including students and educational practices, monks and religious orders, and agricultural workers. For causes, he is considered the patron saint against temptations, witchcraft, and all evil, as well as all poison. The patron saint of Europe, and the dying, those with fever, those with gallstones, and those with inflammatory diseases.